Hello again, this is Victor James, author of the Microcosm, and let's talk about Rockstar's forgotten masterpiece, The Warriors, because Rockstar did what most video game companies fail at, and that is faithfully adapting a beloved franchise. Released in 2005 for the PS2 and PSP, The Warriors serves as the de facto prequel to the cult classic movie, but it touched on the events of that film as well. And this is why I always push for physical media, because Rockstar was able to license much of the iconic music from that movie, but many had been removed in the PS3 and PS4 versions people purchased online. Rockstar was also able to secure most of the voice actors from the movie, bringing back 6 of the 9 main cast members, except for Rembrandt, whose actor Marcelo Sanchez sadly passed away, and Cowboy and Vermin, whose actors were retired. With a cast of that size, it's a credit to Rockstar they were able to score so many of the original cast, which adds to the authenticity of the game. The Warriors game is set in the sprawling world of New York City, telling the story of the Warriors' rise on their home turf of Coney Island. Much of the early part of the game follows Cleon, the leader of the Warriors, who did not get much screen time in the movie. Voiced by original actor Dorsey Wright, Cleon and Vermin were originally part of the gang called the Destroyers, who ruled Coney Island but had a falling out with their leader Virgil, and left the gang to form the Warriors. You control Cleon and Vermin as they begin to recruit the names and faces we get to know in the movies, like Swan, Ajax, Fox, Cochise, and the others I mentioned before. 3 months before that fateful night of the movie, Cleon left the Warriors as they took control of Coney Island from Destroyers piece by piece. The hub of Warriors activity resides in their clubhouse. There you can train in physical fitness, doing sit-ups, chin-ups, and heavy bag work to increase your stamina, which is something you're really going to need. There are also mini games that are in there, but I really didn't see the need to put too much time into them since there was no reward as far as I could tell. You can also get side missions at the clubhouse by talking to fellow gang members or just walking outside and interacting with the NPCs. These missions are a blast because the gameplay is focused on mostly melee combat. Just like the movie, you can use various instruments that litter the streets as weapons, such as bats, bottles, and knives, using weak and strong attacks as well as grabs and throws. It really is a wide open brawler that would have you running around the streets looking for new targets and helping fellow warriors out. But you will also be given missions that send you to tag enemy territories with Rembrandt, while another computer-controlled warrior watches your back. And the various warriors do have different fighting styles. For example, Rembrandt. He will utilize his spray bottles during the fights to gain an advantage, while someone like Ajax was all brute force and muscle. While you're on the streets, you can even mug people or steal stereos and jewelry to gain money that you can use to buy weapons and spray paint, which is actually very important in this game. You have your typical health bar and stamina meter that are self-explanatory. While this being a Rockstar game, you can of course replenish your health by taking a drug called Flash that is sold by Flash dealers on the street. Every character has a rage meter that builds up during the fights. Rage modes gives you a temporary invincibility and allows you to perform powerful finishers to punish your foes. Now the Warriors may have a heavy rep in the movie, but it took hard work to get there. In the game, the Warriors start from the bottom. To further the rep, you will come in contact with many of the gangs you saw during the beginning crawl of the movie but never saw again, or some that were mentioned by Cyrus but never seen, such as the Panzers, the Van Cortlandt Rangers, and the Electric Eliminators. And there are fun missions with gangs that you do know, such as the Hi-Hats, the Orphans, and the Baseball Furies, that would send a few warriors on their turf to tag trains or compete in tagging competitions. And you will even ally with rival gangs such as the Saracens to set up the Jones Street Boys. All these names are straight out of the movie, and the missions are so various that you will never get bored. Especially the night that New York is hit with a blackout. This was definitely the funnest mission I had, where the city is in absolute chaos as you steal and fight at will. This game is populated with numerous police who can fight pretty well and are pretty tough, and if you lose they will arrest you, removing that warrior from the fight. Of course you can free those imprisoned warriors, but it can be tough to get those cuffs off before the cops are all over you again. And this leads to another aspect Rockstar added to the game, which is stealth. On some missions you can use the shadows to stay out of sight, using bottles to either lure the enemies away or towards you to get them into that perfect position to choke them out. And if you're being chased, you can run into the hiding spots and get away if you're not seen. Although sometimes you are seen, and you kind of just trap yourself into a tight spot. There are a few times actually arrested trying to hide. Eventually the second half of the game takes you through the events of the film as you visit several of the locales in the movie and battle the various gangs, including the Lizzies. I wish there was a way they could have kept this dance into the game, but it probably was too much for PS2 graphics to pull off. But I won't dig too much into the second half segments because if you watch the Warrior movies, the game pretty much follows the sequence of events with a few variations here and there. Overall, The Warriors is probably one of the best, most faithful adaptations you will get in a video game. There is a reason besides GTA that Rockstar earned the reputation for quality games, and The Warriors is no different. I still play the game from time to time, and despite the graphics, the gameplay is still a blast, and it's awesome seeing the Warriors storyline expanded with such love and care. Hopefully Rockstar can remember some of this magic when they release GTA 6, which I hope comes out sometime this century. But let me know in the comments below if you remember this game and if you played it and liked it or hated it. Tell me what you like about it and tell me the things that you maybe dislike about it. And tell me if you might be actually willing to play this game now. From what I recall, it's available still on PS4 and probably PS5 even though I haven't checked. But you should be able to download the digital copy, although I do recommend getting the physical copy just for the music alone. Special shout out to my new subscribers, and I invite you to read my first book, Fiasco Adventures, available on Amazon. This is a great book and it's doing very well. And I also invite you to read my novelette, The Mark, which is also available on Amazon. And I also have a website, themegacosm.com, where you can buy the books and you can read some of my short stories for free and read some of my articles I do for bleedyfool.com. But thanks again, thanks for watching, God bless you and keep you. That's it, I'm done.